Hello and good morning to everyone. I know it's been a really long time since I was on here to do a proper video. I know there's a lot of questions unanswered, a lot of things that need to be explained. So I've got a free Saturday, I've got a whole house to myself, a whole new house to myself, so I thought I'd do another Saturday vlog to explain the situation and get everybody up to date as to what is happening with this channel, my blog, and things in general. So if you've got a few hours to spare, come join me and we'll go through Saturday and see what happens. Chat to you in a sec. Welcome back. Right. Tea. Everything tastes better with tea. I understand how cheesy that sounds, so I do apologise. Right, so what has been going on? What hasn't been going on? As you can probably see, I am in a completely different room as to what I am usually in, because I am now sat in my very own home. Me and my other half, my husband, bought this house a few months ago. Is it a few months ago? Yeah, it's probably 3 months ago. The whole process has taken a lot longer than that. I think from start to finish, it was about 6 to 8 months. From seeing this tiny plot of bricks and cement and gravel in the middle of a building site to what we have now. But we moved in about 2 or 3 months ago. So we own our own home. So that has been a real blessing, because we never thought we'd actually get to own our own home. So it's been a really nice couple of months, really. So that's the reason why I'm sat where I am, because I'm in my new kitchen. I'll just give you a kind of a view. That's a utility room. Amazing, this house came with a utility room. Virtually all houses now do not have utility rooms, or they certainly don't make them with utility rooms, but this one came with one, and it was one of the biggest selling features, really. So let's start from the beginning then. A lot of you will have known from the Confessions of an Undertaker series exactly what I was about and what that blog and what that vlog was about. Quite popular on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the usual suspects. And you would have also known, if you are a regular subscriber, that came to rather an abrupt end earlier on this year, and there's a very good reason for that. I didn't just do it for the sheer sake of it, and I'll go into that a little bit more in detail. But I am still working in the funeral profession, so with the same funeral directors in the same funeral home. My role has changed differently, and obviously, again, if you've been following the blog and the web series, you'll know exactly why that is, because back this time last year, I was actually in hospital having a pacemaker fitted, which as a result of that has not enabled me to carry out the duties that I was carrying out. So I was a funeral service operative, which, in kind of general terms means like an all-rounder, somebody who pretty much can turn their hand to most things in a funeral home, so driving hearses, carrying coffins, etc., etc. So that's what I was doing full time, but because of obviously my health implications, those duties have been drastically reduced now to only serving 2 days a week in that role. And on those 2 days, I don't carry on funerals unless it's really, really, really needed as a kind of a last resort, and I don't carry out any removals, which isn't really a bad thing. So I'm not on call anymore. So my kind of operative role is kind of been shrunk down to everything bar carrying coffins and carrying out removals. But there we have it. The other few days, 3 days a week, I am in the offices of the funeral home, helping to run those. So I'm still very much involved in the funeral profession. I just don't blog about it anymore. Those reasons will become apparent very, very soon. So before we go into that whole kind of why I don't blog about death thing anymore, I thought I'd give you just a quick tour of the house, really, just to try and bulk out this video, really. So this is the hallway. It's quite a generous size hallway. Stairs. Downstairs loo. This is the living room. It's quite very, very white at the minute. We are kind of planning to do something with that back wall, get some curtains up, and just try and inject a bit of colour into the situation. My prized possession, not my top hat. No, Betty Boop. Oh God, she's. When did we get her? She's probably about 10 years old now. Got her from a shop in Weymouth. So yeah, this is basically the living room. It's not that exciting at the moment, but it's the majority where we spend most of our time. The kitchen, which you've kind of already briefly seen. The garden. Oh yeah, there she is. Hello. Oh, hello. She's still old and cantankerous, but she loves it. But so it's quite a generous sized garden. No kind of real plans to do anything with that other than try and enjoy the most of it in the summer. And we have had quite a hot summer this year. It's the utility room I was talking about. Again, quite a generous sized space. More stuff. So yeah, that's the downstairs. The Munsters clock, which that's troubling. The battery's probably gone on that. Need to replace that. And then we go upstairs. So quite a generous sized landing. Main bedroom, ensuite shower. Probably don't really want to see in there. This is the office. If you don't know who he is, that's Robert Lenkiewicz. He was a painter in Plymouth. Had our studios in the Barbican in the centre of Plymouth. Very, very, very famous painter. Very eccentric, a bit mad. kept a dead body in his art studio for best part of a decade. It was an embalmed body. I actually did a blog post on that, and someone complained about that as well. But yeah, that's Robert Lenkiewicz. That I am told, and I've actually verified that is a genuine Lenkiewicz self-portrait, which my other half absolutely hates, but I absolutely love, and I paid for it, so why shouldn't I have it? So that's the desk, where I'll probably be doing most of the YouTube videos now when I get it started up again, because I do want to get it started up again, because I did genuinely enjoy it. Bookshelf, or bookcase I should say. I want to get 3 of these, so 1 there, another 2 on that wall, and just fill it with books. One of the things I've always wanted is my own library, so I'm going to start on that. Bedroom number 2. Obviously, bedroom number 3 was the office. So, more Betty's. Not actually had anyone stay in this room yet, but in a couple of weeks I will have. And the bathroom, that's it. Airing cupboard. So that's it. That's a tour of our new house. It's not Buckingham Palace. It's not a huge country mansion. It's a nice little modest family home. And considering we were looking at buying 3-bed semis, which were shoe boxes, we've landed on our feet here with this. This is a 3-bed detached with a garage, quite a large garden, you know, and quite generous size living quarters. So yeah, we've done pretty well. So what's on the agenda for today then? Not a huge amount. I've got the whole house to myself this weekend, which is quite nice. So I'm going to go into Bristol this afternoon because I volunteer as a chaplaincy volunteer at the British Heart Institute now. I did mention it in one of my previous videos, but I'll give you an update as to that in the next segment of this video. So stay tuned. Hello again, everyone. So not a lot has happened since the last time we spoke, really. Had breakfast, walked the dog, got a shower, got changed. I am now in my rather, well, some call it dashing, I call it quite loud, green polo shirt for the chaplaincy. I'm on my way to Bristol to the Heart Institute, which is part of the BRI, or the Bristol Royal Infirmary, to do a couple of hours volunteering as a chaplaincy visitor. And basically what that means is I go around and visit patients on the wards and in the departments that basically, you know, want somebody else other than a doctor or a nurse to talk to. We work with the chaplaincy department. Everybody knows what a chaplain is, I assume, but for those of you who don't, places like hospitals, prisons, some schools and universities, any kind of large institution generally does have its own clergy or chaplain or chaplaincy department, and they're made up of different people, different clergy from different faith groups. Not all chaplains are from a church or a faith-based community. We do have a couple that work or volunteer, I should say, with us, who are humanists or atheists. So you don't have to be of any kind of religious, faith-based or spiritual persuasion to be a chaplaincy volunteer or even a chaplain themselves, but obviously it does help. The very nature of a hospital leaves a lot of questions, a lot of unanswered questions for a lot of people with regards to life and death. So, you know, it's handy to have people from different faith groups who are skilled and qualified in those areas to offer advice and support. And I am part of that team. I'm from the old Catholic tradition, or you know, you might say Reformed or Liberal Catholic. I was a Roman Catholic, but that didn't quite work out for me. So I kind of stepped away from Roman Catholicism and embraced the practices and the teachings of the Liberal and Reformed or Old Catholic faith. So, and that is basically where I'm at, kind of within like my own faith journey, if you like. I am a deacon. I am ordained in that church, so I can perform certain religious rites, and hopefully in the summer, September actually, I will be ordained as a priest in that church. So, you know, I will be given the full kind of license to carry out the duties of a priest in the old Catholic Church, which basically a lot of the ministry and the sacraments mirror a lot of the mainstream denominations anyway, so there aren't a huge amount of differences in the way we practice our faith in a practical sense, i.e., you know, practical ministry. It's just obviously the theology and the teachings are quite different. The Old Catholic Church is quite an accepting church. Of course, as the name suggests, Liberal and Reformed Catholic, you would expect that they would be a lot more tolerant, open and progressive, and they are. And that is where and why I kind of chose them. So, you know, when I carry out my duties as a chaplaincy volunteer, I do it under the kind of the jurisdiction, I suppose, for want of a better word, of the Old Catholic Church. The actual church itself is the Old Catholic Apostolic Church, and that is actually a worldwide church, and they have provinces or dioceses in different parts of the world. Obviously, me being in the UK, I form part of the UK province. So there we go. That is basically that. I'm on my way now into the city centre to the hospital. I'll spend a couple of hours there. Good thing about hospital chaplaincy is that you don't really know what you are going to walk into. You're given a list of different patients who have seen the chaplaincy team throughout their stay at hospital. So obviously they need a follow-up or have requested some kind of visit, so you see them first and foremost, and then whatever else comes from that you kind of deal with kind of there and then. Each visit is different, and like I said, you never really know what you're walking into, and that's what makes it quite unique and quite special. And because you're not a doctor, because you're not a nurse or any kind of medical or healthcare professional in that sense, people are a lot more inclined to open up to you, and to kind of tell you what's really on their mind. I think as someone who's like been in hospital myself, it is nice to have that extra layer of support, because sometimes if you are feeling a bit down, a bit rubbish, you can be reluctant to tell a doctor that, in case they prescribe you another pill. So if when all really you want is a chat and a shoulder to cry on, so if you've got somebody there who, you know, is not a medical person that you can offload to, it's great, and it's a real privilege to fulfill that role. And who knows, maybe one day I will be a full-time hospital chaplain myself. I just never know what life is going to throw at me. So I'm just happy to keep doing what I'm doing and giving something back to the National Health Service in my own way, and hopefully it makes a difference. So that's that. So I will speak to you probably in a couple of hours time, when I'll be heading back home, and I'll get back into the office and explain a little bit more about how Confessions of an Undertaker came to rather an abrupt end. Chat to you soon. Bye bye. Hi guys, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with me. So as you can see, back at home now, back in the office. Quick change of clothing. I mean, can't stick around in that green top all day. I mean, that's just no good for anyone's self-esteem, really. But it's not that bad. But it was a very good visit today at the hospital. Spoke to quite a few different people about different things, and I felt it was quite a positive and productive afternoon spent. So, and that's what it's all about, really, giving something back and kind of getting that warm fuzzy glow, that you've done something good for someone else. So it's all good. So getting back to why Confessions of an Undertaker came to an end, I think basically it just ran its course, really. I started it off, it was quite a unique thing to do when I first, started it off. But by no means, I was never the first person to do it. But I believe, as far as the UK kind of funeral scene is concerned, especially with like blogging and things like that, I seem to be the only one kind of doing it. I might be wrong, there might be thousands out there. It's just I never really came across them. But anyway, so it was fairly new when I started it. I ran it for a few years. It got quite a good response on the whole. There was a bit of negativity with it, as with most things in life, especially with a sensitive subject like death and dying and funerals. You are going to get some negative feedback, which is fine. It's all part and parcel of writing a blog and doing a web series, a video series of that nature. So that wasn't really an issue, but I think it just ran its course. I was kind of getting to the stage where I was really having to try and find material from other places, and I started kind of you know, just posting stuff for the sake of it, and it wasn't really making any sense. And then it just all got a bit samey, and it kind of lost its way a bit. So I just decided to call it a day, and that was it really. So there's no kind of real story to it other than, I thought I could do something a bit different, get people talking about death and dying and death care, and funerals in a master centre. I did achieve that, but I think it had gone as far as it could possibly go. So that's the dog at the door. So yeah, I just decided to knock it on the head and do something else. Yeah, I'm still employed in the funeral profession. I still work in a funeral home. I still absolutely love it. But as far as the blogging side of things is concerned, that's for me. That's had its day. If somebody else wants to, pick up the baton, as it were, and have another run at it, then good luck to them. But I just thought I'd, quit while I was ahead, so to speak, before it started to go, a bit south. So that was it, really. I now have a new blog. It's called The Food Review UK. Basically, I didn't really change anything drastically as far as the Instagram was concerned. I basically just renamed the page, got rid of all the old content, re-edited the biography, and just carried on from there. And as you'll see from the page now, it's all pretty much food orientated. I'm quite a big foodie. I like food. I spend a lot of time in restaurants. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do any type of drug or play any kind of sports or anything like that. So I spend my money in restaurants, and that's what I do. And I like writing, so I thought, well, why not, just write a food blog. So that is where my kind of blogging career is going at the moment. I would, if I'm honest, I would like to become a professional food writer and food critic. That is something I've always kind of fancied doing. I mean, who wouldn't want to get paid to go to nice restaurants and eat for a living? It sounds like a dream job, but it's quite a tough cookie to crack and quite a hard market to get into. So I think I will be self-publishing for a long while, as far as being a food journalist is concerned. So anyway, it's late. It's, what time is it? Almost 11 o'clock. So I will bid you good night. Thank you very much for tuning in. To all those who followed me in the past, thank you very much. It means an awful lot. If you wish to carry on following and subscribing and doing all the stuff that you used to do with the old blog, then that'd be great as well. But if not, then so be it. I wish you all the best. And of course, I welcome any new followers and subscribers. You can check everything out on YouTube, obviously, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, LinkedIn, not so much, and yeah, so the usual places you can find me, and go to foodreviewuk.net for my new food blog and restaurant review blog. Thanks very much. Good night.